How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So on this video, I'm going to be going over the differences on the new J series found in the Pilot, TLX, and MDX. Like I said, it was first introduced in a TLX Type S as a J30AC, followed by the MDX Type S with the identical J30AC. And now on this new 2023 Honda Pilot, this is a J35Y8, so it's a 3.5 liter non-turbo versus the other two are a 3.0 liter single turbo. So let's just get right into it. The biggest difference and obvious difference here is the heads. Most of the differences are going to be in the heads. So these are dual overhead cams, which means two camshafts, two VTC gears on both heads, so making it a quad cam versus a single overhead cam, which makes it a dual cam, one cam per bank. Now, these are VTC gears, like I mentioned before. This is a little bit different from the K series, which were guided by timing chains. This is still a timing belt. So those VTC gears are going to alter some timing, and I think with that being said, that might create some oil leaks down the road. Honda actually has some special tools for that, some seal installers. So I'm sure they're anticipating something along those lines. There's just going to be a lot of moving parts with oil involved. So that's just something I foresee happening down the road. This engine still retains a VCM, which disengages 3 of the cylinders, all on the back head. So that is something familiar, although some of the older J series did cylinder 1 through 3 and 4 as well, depending on throttle percentage and stuff like that. So no longer has VTEC these engines. Honda has moved on and phased out almost in every single engine, or a lot of them. So that's just something they're moving on from. So like I said, this engine still uses a timing belt, so that's going to be behind these black covers over here. And it's just a little bit different. You're going to have a special tool that Honda makes that's going to hold the cam gears while you're putting the belt on. In the picture that I saw, it seems just like it's the back head. I'm not sure if it's going to be on the front and the back head or something different with the back head at this point, but there is a special tool to hold the gears. And once we get to that point, hopefully in a year or two, whenever the first time belt is due, maybe an Uber drive or something like that, I'll be able to have some more information on that. If I open one of these engines before that, that means something catastrophic has gone wrong, and I will update you guys, of course, at that point. Moving on, these timing belts are now, they use an adjustable spring-loaded tensioner versus a hydraulic one found in the older engines, which were super problematic. So I'm hoping that this has solved many premature tensioner issues, and that will be great once we get to that point. And hopefully we don't need to take any of these engines apart or time belts out just to do the tensioner like in the old ones. So these newer engines, they use lifters, tappets, and rocker arms. So they require no valve adjustment, unlike the older ones, which after X amount of period, or if there's a known issue, you would have to go in there and adjust the valves. This is no longer the case. So although when you do get to that point and you need to take out the rock arms and some tappets or whatever, they do have some special unique features. So on the exhaust side of the tappets, so that would be on this side over here, and on the opposite side on the other head, they have unconventional design to them, so you have to pay attention on how you install them, or else you could cause some catastrophic failure. And then the intake ones, which are the closest to the intake manifold, so the two on the inner side of the head, they're okay, they're straightforward, and you just pop them in, you're good to go. So you only really have to pay attention to the exhaust side ones, which is, really something you have to really keep an eye out for. Some other differences between this J series and the TLX and MDX Type S ones are the intake manifold faces this way, so it's just rotated, and it's aluminum. This one seems to be plastic right in here. You can see that. Another thing is the coolant passage pipe on the TLX and MDS comes across the front over here, which is something, and most likely an extra step, we're going to have to do when doing the timing belt. And the reason for that is, you can see on this one, the coolant passage pipe right over here connects one head to the other is on this side. Like I said before, the reason for that is the MDX and TLX Type S have a turbo mounted here, and I just think for cooling purposes and just for space overall, they decided to move it over to this side. They could have worked here on this side too, but for whatever reason, they did not, go that route on this car here. So that's basically the gist of it without getting into really crazy details. Just something for you guys to look out for, and just something so you guys can be a little bit more educated on when buying these vehicles. And so most expensive thing is going to be the time belt package. Regardless, everything else should be case by case, and you really shouldn't have to be ripping anything apart on these engines unless if something catastrophic happens, which these engines so far so good. So let's see what happens. This one being a 3.5 again, and the TLX being a 3.0 along with the MDX Type S's. So that's basically it for this video, guys. I hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask below. This thing over here is a air filter with a big resonator, and just to quiet the engine up down. For whatever reason, the air comes in through here. Whole lot of resonators and just a lot going on for no reason. This is a horrible idea in my opinion, because obviously heat comes up. So this is heat soaking to the max. But anyways, I'm not the engineer. They did this for whatever reason they chose to. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. And once again, if you have any questions or comments, please drop them down below, and stay tuned for more videos just like this one.